Welcome back, YouTube. I promised you a second video over the review of the Beretta A400 Xtreme Plus, but this time we're actually going to run the modified choke and see how it patterns against the Code Black Duck and the Kicks High Flyer full choke. I'm really excited to do this test because I haven't patterned it yet, and I wanted to see if these two choke tubes would make a difference to see how this gun would perform. So let's get after it. Video, the Beretta A400 Xtreme Plus performed really well with pretty much every ammo we ran through it. But today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to run the modified choke, shoot every shot shell that we have here, which is the Federal Premium Ultra Shock. We have Black Cloud, we have Dry Lock, the Speed Shocks, and Heavy Metals in 2s and 3s. These are all 3-inch shells, and we're going to run through the modified choke, then the Code Black Duck from Pattern Master, and then the Kicks High Flyer full. Let's see how they do. All right, as you see, we have a target set up 35 yards downrange. That's going to be our yardage for where we're shooting. That's about usually the longest I would shoot at a duck. So that's what we're going to go with to see how these types of ammo perform through these choke tubes. This is the target we're shooting at, just a basic duck target. You know, a color up when we hit it. The rest of it will go blank, but what we're going to do is to see how many pellets we can basically get in this area here, and then do a comparison at the end and let you know which is the best choke tube to run. Shooting 3-inch heavy metal number 3 with a modified choke. All right. We're done with the modified choke that came with the gun, and we're going to switch over to the Pattern Master Code Black Duck. The only thing different about this is we will not be shooting the Black Cloud through it because of the wad. I've read a lot of things online that suggest that you shouldn't want to shoot a controlled flight wad through the Pattern Master. So we're not going to shoot this one through the Pattern Master, but it will go through the Kicks High Flyer. So let's get started. All right, we got the Code Black Pattern Master in, and I have to say it looks really good, especially with the gold decal down the side. So I'm anxious to try it out. I've heard a lot of good things about Pattern Master. So we're gonna run these loads through. We have Dry Lock, Federal Premium Speed Shocks and Ultra Shocks, and the Heavy Metals in 2s and 3s. Again, these are all 3-inch. So let's get going. All right, we just got done shooting the Pattern Master Code Black Duck, and I was pretty impressed with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really anxious to compare it to the modified choke, but let's go ahead. We're starting to lose some daylight here, so we're gonna swap over to the Kicks High Flyer full choke, and we're gonna do the same thing, and we're gonna include the Black Cloud this time, where we didn't include the Black Cloud with the Code Black Duck because it has a controlled flight wad. So let's get shooting the Kicks High Flyer before we run out of daylight. Just got the Kicks High Flyer in. Let's get to shooting. Hot damn, old son. That look good. We are done with the pattern testing on all 3 chokes. So again, we did the modified that came with the gun, then we did the Kicks High Flyer full, and also the Code Black Pattern Master, Code Black Duck from Pattern Master. And I can tell you right now, you're going to be really impressed with the results. So this gun did really well. Again, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10 stars. I wouldn't hesitate to go buy this gun. I've shot the SB3. I liked it. The only difference between this gun, obviously it being an inertia gun and this is a gas gun, this one felt like it was a little bit smoother shooter for me, and that's why I really enjoyed it. So I'm really anxious to put it to the test this fall. Again, pretty much any type of ammo that I ran through it patterned, pretty well. And it actually did a lot better with the Kicks High Flyer and the Pattern Master, and I'll let you see the results later on it. It's going to be dependent on what type of ammo you want to run, or what type of situation you're in and what you're hunting. But again, this gun is awesome. It's a low recoil gun. I recommend it to just about anybody. But if you're looking to, maybe in between the SB3 and this gun here, you could save you a couple bucks, pick up this gun, and it's going to do just as awesome for you. All right, here's the results. Heavy metal number 3s. This is with a modified choke. Yeah, it may look pretty good, but just wait till you see the Pattern Master. Pattern Master made a huge difference with the heavy metals at 35 yards, and even the Kicks High Flyer did extremely well with number 3's heavy metal. All right, this is the results of the heavy metal number 2's modified choke. Again, the pattern was okay, nothing special. Then we get into the Pattern Master for heavy metal number 2's. There is a lot of pellets on this paper. If you look at the bottom left, there is a lot of pellets here. This choke did really well with heavy metal number 2's. The Kicks High Flyer did really well too. A lot of pellets in the center of the target. And that's the Kicks High Flyer full choke. Alright, this here we have the Dry Locks with the modified choke. And the Dry Locks did really well. I was highly surprised that the Dry Locks ran so well with the modified choke. And then we ran the Pattern Master. Wasn't bad. Again, it probably performed just about as good as the modified choke. A lot of pellets in the center of the paper. Then the Kicks High Flyer, 35 yards, Kicks High Flyer full choke, did really well as well. So all 3 chokes, modified, Pattern Master, and Kicks High Flyer, did extremely well with the Dry Locks. This right here is the modified choke with the Speed Shock number 3 3-inch shell, 35 yards. It actually did really good. This is the Speed Shock with the Pattern Master. It actually did really well with the Pattern Master. Speed Shocks, Pattern Master was on point. The Speed Shocks with the Kicks High Flyer still did pretty good. There's a lot of shot just above the duck pattern there, or the duck silhouette there. Again, Kicks High Flyer, Pattern Master do really well with the Speed Shock. Alright, this is the Ultra Shock number 2's 3-inch, 35 yards with the modified choke. Again, I don't think you're going to be disappointed if you just ran the choke tube that came with the gun and used this ammo. It did really well. This is with the Pattern Master. I might pull just a hair bit low on it, but then again, it did really well with the Pattern Master as well. Then to end it, this is the Kicks High Flyer with the Ultra Shocks. Again, you're not going to be disappointed with the Kicks High Flyer choke. Really good choke, so is the Pattern Master. This here is the Black Cloud modified choke, number 2's. Again, the pattern was okay, not the best. I do apologize for this last shot here. I ran out of duck targets, but this was the Kicks High Flyer with the Black Cloud, and it did better. It did do better. So if we go back and we're talking about what type of ammo to use, what choke tube, I did say that it's going to be dependent on what type of ammo you're going to use, and that's very true out of the Beretta A400 Xtreme Plus. What I found in my pattern testing was that the Kicks High Flyer performed really well with the heavy metals, and the Pattern Master did really well with the Speed Shocks and the Ultra Shocks. So it's going to be a toss-up. When I'm using the heavy metals, I'll probably go over to Kicks High Flyer, and when I'm using the Speed Shocks and the Ultra Shocks from Federal, I'm going to use the Pattern Master. Did really well. The Dry Locks, They performed well with my modified choke that came with the gun. They did well with the Pattern Master, and they did well with the kicks. But the Pattern Master did really, I would say, better than the dry locks with the Speed Shock and the Ultra Shocks, and the Kicks High Flyer did better with the heavy metals than the dry locks. So again, if you're just gonna not buy an aftermarket choke tube, I would say stick with dry locks from Winchester. If you're gonna go with a Pattern Master, I would shoot the Federals. And if you're gonna go to kicks, I would shoot the heavy metals all day. So that's my conclusion. And again, the review on the gun's awesome. It shoots really well, super low recoil. It's a super smooth shooter. I would shoot it all day long, and I'm probably gonna run that gun into the ground with as much hunting I'm gonna do come this fall and winter. All right, if you liked what you saw with the Beretta A400 Xtreme Plus full review and pattern test, give us a like on Instagram and Facebook. That's Death Row Waterfowl Co. And make sure you hit the subscribe button below. We'll have a lot of hunting footage for you this fall.